Flex is willing to do whatever it takes.
If you want to be on Hot 97, but you don't want to speak to the boss every hour of every day, then get on Flex's side.
So there was that whole controversy, Camilo Enough payola scandal that came out of nowhere. It said Flex was reaching out to people and propagating that and pushing that conversation forward. I knew Flex has been in with management. I knew, by the way, you could go look at the filings of the company. Go look at who has stock. The man plays the game on a different level.
I told Enough this many years ago. Don't f with that man.
Hot 97 is in the midst of a big controversy as it faces a war on two fronts. First, there's the internal turmoil amongst its own staff that was sparked by the firing of beloved New York City DJ Enough.
Maybe. I think so. Maybe. I can't prove it.
Okay.
But in my heart, that's what I feel happened.
Okay. Have you had a conversation with him? Have you seen him?
No.
Has he texted you saying anything?
There's rumors he was fired due to a shot called by Funkmaster Flex, who has great power at Hot 97, as illustrated by Rosenberg and Cypher Sound's comments on their last podcast. Flex would deny the rumors, though, of him having Enough fired on his own show weeks prior.
Understand, nothing, because what the headline says is not what he said. So, but I want to make sure we talk, because we use the word brotherhood.
Funny enough, though, Cypher Sound and Rosenberg would reveal that the snakes Flex was talking about were Camilo and DJ Drewski.
Snake number one is Camilo.
DJ Camilo.
And Camilo and Drewski, aka the Snakes.
While Hot 97 has no program director currently, Flex is the de facto shot caller, and anyone who isn't on good terms with him is on the chopping block. I mean, Cypher and Rosenberg revealed that TT Torres ran afoul of Flex. Meanwhile, Nessa, who was his people, they both got different types of two edges of the coin. Like, one got a promotion in Nessa, and TT is no longer on Hot 97.
TT was not on his team. Nessa
But she
is.
was. She was at some point.
TT's gone. Nessa hugged up with Flex in Instagram pictures. You want to be bigger than Flex, and what Flex is doing ain't right? Good luck.
Rosenberg maintains that he doesn't believe Flex got Enough fired. I largely agree, mostly because I think Enough was laid off because his ratings weren't strong enough to keep him around. Now, more breadcrumbs were left by Ebro weeks prior, who called Flex out for doing the song and dance with Hot 97's management.
Flex has openly acknowledged his sucker style for years. All Flex cares about is being on this radio, being in the clubs. He loves being a DJ.
Now, that is a pretty big claim made by Ebro, but now there's three parties, Cypher, Rosenberg, and Ebro, who are letting you know that Funkmaster Flex now controls Hot 97. It almost looks like in years prior, there was a bit of a balance, but now due to Flex's high ratings, he was able to usurp control due to his great off his back dealings and the way he plays the game. Now, there was another egregious claim made by Rosenberg, insinuating that Flex was pushing a rumor that DJ Enough and Camilo were engaging in a pay-for-play scheme that would allow people to pay to get on air. Now, that is a big claim by Rosenberg, and there is no public facts about it, but for Rosenberg to go on his show and say, yo, there is intel I have that Funk Flex was out here telling people that Camilo and Enough were charging folks to get on air, that's big. Now, there are some who believe that Flex, this is also just a rumor, did the same thing, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But speaking of pay for play, there are now rumors of a pending radio RICO, where radio stations will be investigated for accepting illegal funds to play music. Now, this was mentioned by Rory and Maul on their podcast.
Lawsuit coming with All Radio.
All Radio?
Mm-hmm. I think there's a huge lawsuit, and I think it's not directly with some of the firing and downsizing that's happening, but I think there is a very, very big lawsuit coming within the music industry and radio specifically.
Why?
I don't know how much I can say yet. I don't know how much I can say yet.
Why?
I
Say it.
I just think that there is some type of way of RICO and money laundering going on with radio and the music business. That's all I'm saying. All right, so you know the same thing. All right. So you heard this too. Shit is going down.
So it seems like there's a bunch of people talking about some impending RICO in the industry. There's Rory, there's Maul, there's academics.
What's happening in radio land? It's a lot of payola. Radio is right off payola. Remember I told y'all that. How do you think because of salary? No. They take money. They play some records. They take money to do this, take money to do that.
Then there's even Cypher and Rosenberg alluding to it. Now there's also the whole Power 105 I Heart Drake situation where they kind of did like this. I don't even want to say what it was, but there was some type of legality where Drake and them dropped a charge or something. But was that the trigger for the feds to come in and look at everything with a fine-tooth comb? Either way, if academics Rory Maul and Cypher and Rosenberg are talking about it, that means people have intel that it's going down. Now remember, it's unclear whether the rumors of small market pay-for-play scandals such as this are really happening. Like in one scenario, you have small-time rappers paying a DJ who's on air to get their song played. But then there's the other one, which is a little bit more crazy, which could be actual music labels paying to get played on air. It's unclear if Hot 97, the station, will be targeted in this alleged rumor, but many fans suspect that their crosstown rival, Power 105, will be the ones caught up in the controversy. Drake's lawsuit is one of the biggest things to happen in hip-hop media, largely because now you're seeing a crackdown on streaming bots and inorganic music promotion. Not necessarily the tactics that people believed were happening rampant, but now Spotify is deleting bots. You have radio stations and their listing and their playlisting coming under great scrutiny. So now everybody in hip-hop media is going to be criticized, right? Charlemagne, Flex, everybody on those platforms. And it's just not New York City radio. New York City radio is probably going to be the focal point just because there's so many people who listen to it. But I wouldn't be surprised if more RICOs come across, people's timeline in places like LA, Georgia. Who knows what's really going on? Remember, radio licenses are regulated by the government, and you cannot receive funds under the table without cutting the government in on its own airwaves. Podcasting might be a little bit different. Hell, even YouTube, perhaps a little bit different because those channels, those pathways are not given to you by the government. Still, there's another lawsuit that many may not know about at Hot 97, and it involves a former Hot 97 employee where there's an accusation of Flex being involved in potential kickbacks and theft of company funds. Now, that theft comes by, not like he was stealing. This is the accusation. This is a lawsuit. The lawsuit mentions claims of giveaways involving $0 digital and on-air advertising to clients without a contract and without collecting any fee. Now, what I think that means is maybe Hot 97, maybe Flex goes on there and be like, yo, shout out to my man Joey Nonsense. He's out there doing their thing. Yo, those clubs Joey Nonsense be having, they be going crazy. And then you find out that Flex is booked to be at Joey Nonsense's club. That's just an example. But it's important to remember that the former employee's lawsuit is part of a larger discrimination accusation. You could go online, Daily Beast reported on it, so I'm not breaking any news, but nobody is really talking about it. So what you have here is a lawsuit against Hot that kind of affirms, if you have the theory, that Flex is a big-time shot caller at Hot 97, and then you have folks like Ebro, Cypher Sounds, and Rosenberg talking about how Flex is a backroom politician who knows how to make things happen. He's kind of like the Don of Dons at Media Co. And there's also Ebro saying that the company doesn't care about the arts And if you notice, when's the last time you seen a Hot 97 DJ in a studio? That should give you some information. Now, time will tell how things play out, but with Rosenberg, Ebro, and other members of Hot 97 choosing sides against Flex, one can only imagine that there will be more layoffs coming when it's time to make more cutbacks. Layoffs that will likely be to Flex's favor. My opinion is that I truly don't think Flex took peyote. Of all the DJs in New York, he spoke out against peyote the most. If Flex is that cunning, then forgive me for thinking Santa is real. To take it off Flex, though, I do believe that there are many times radio DJs would shout out friends, business owners, and receive more favorable things like booking rates and access to events in their city. Maybe like tickets to a game, maybe like, you get to get this pass, I'll give you this interview. I do think pay for play materializes in more ways than just music. So let me know what you think. It's quite shocking how much everybody is talking about this in the public. Like, usually you have to find ways to decipher what's going on in between what people are saying. Like, Cypher, Rosenberg, and Ebro are telling you, yo, this is what's happening at the building. There's no type of names being spared. They're telling you, yo, Funk Flex says Camilo and Drewski are the snakes. So the fact that they're talking about this in public lets you know that they do not care how the cards unfold. They gotta not care about how their job is like secure, because for them to come out like this is insane. But let me know what you think. Once again, Flex seems to have taken over Hot 97. He's calling the shots, even if he doesn't have a title. Apparently, he's so great at his ratings and also so great at moving things on the chessboard that he can get people packed up, and all of the friends of his are always maintaining good positions at Hot 97, while people who aren't are thrown out the door. With that said, follow me on Instagram to Stop TV. Follow me on Patreon to Stop TV. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.